The blind date was empty, until a little girl walked in and said, "My mommy's sorry she's late." Sometimes the people we're meant to meet arrive in the most unexpected ways, carried by the smallest hands and the purest hearts. Asterisk. Marcus checked his watch for the 7th time in 10 minutes. The cafe chair felt harder with each passing moment, and the untouched cappuccino in front of him had long since stopped steaming. Around him, couples laughed over shared desserts, friends clinked coffee mugs in celebration, and the warm Friday evening buzz of downtown Portland hummed with life. But at his corner table, there was only silence and the growing weight of disappointment. His sister Jamie had sworn this would be different. "Sarah's amazing," she'd said with that knowing smile. "Trust me, you two are perfect for each other." After 3 years of failed dating apps and awkward setups, Marcus had finally agreed to one more blind date. One more chance at finding someone who understood what it meant to build a life with intention, who valued authenticity over appearances. But it was 7:45 now, and Sarah was 45 minutes late. No text, no call, just empty promises and an empty chair across from him. Marcus pulled out his wallet, ready to pay for the coffee he hadn't enjoyed and leave behind another evening of crushed hope. That's when he saw her, a little girl, no more than 5 years old, with wild curls escaping from 2 lopsided pigtails and a purple backpack nearly as big as she was. She stood in the cafe in trance, her small face scanning the room with surprising determination. Their eyes met, and something flickered in her expression. Recognition. Relief. Before Marcus could process what was happening, she was marching toward his table with the confidence of someone on an important mission. "Are you Marcus?" she asked, slightly breathless, her voice carrying that unique blend of innocence and seriousness that only children possess. Yes. Marcus responded, confused, glancing around for an adult who might claim this tiny visitor. The little girl's shoulders relaxed, and she clutched the straps of her backpack. "My mommy's sorry she's late." Marcus felt his confusion deepen. "Your mommy? Is your mom Sarah?" The girl nodded vigorously. "She said to tell you she's really sorry and she'll explain everything. She asked if you could please wait just a little bit longer." Her brown eyes, wide and pleading, looked up at him with an earnestness that made his chest tighten. "Where is your mom?" Marcus asked, concern replacing his earlier frustration. "She's helping a lady outside. The lady fell down and there was blood and mommy's a nurse so she had to help. She told me to come find you and tell you she's coming soon." The words tumbled out in a rush, as if she'd been practicing them the entire way inside. Marcus's irritation evaporated instantly. He stood up, looking toward the cafe entrance. "Is the woman okay? Should I call 911? Mommy already did. The ambulance is coming. She just didn't want you to leave before she could explain." The little girl bit her lip, and Marcus noticed she was trembling slightly. For all her bravery, she was just a scared kid who'd been sent on an adult errand. "Hey, it's okay," Marcus said gently, kneeling down to her eye level. "What's your name?" "Emma." "Well, Emma, I'm not going anywhere. Your mom is doing something really important. Why don't you sit down with me while we wait for her?" Emma's face brightened with relief, and she climbed into the chair across from him, her backpack thunking against the seat. She looked so small in the adult-sized chair, her feet dangling several inches from the ground. "Are you nervous?" Emma asked suddenly, her childlike directness catching Marcus off guard. "Nervous? About what?" "About meeting my mommy." She said first dates make people nervous. She was really nervous. She changed her shirt 3 times. Emma swung her legs, completely unaware of how her innocent observation was painting such an endearing picture of the woman Marcus had been ready to write off. "I guess I was a little nervous," Marcus admitted, feeling his defenses soften. "But you know what? I'm glad I waited. Mommy says the best things are worth waiting for. Like Christmas morning. Or when the cookies are done baking." Emma's logic was simple, profound in the way only children's wisdom could be. Marcus smiled, his first genuine smile all evening. "Your mom sounds pretty smart." "She is. She knows how to fix people when they're hurt, and she makes the best pancakes, and she always reads me 2 stories at bedtime even when she's super tired." Emma's pride in her mother radiated from every word. As Marcus listened to Emma chatter about her mom's job at the hospital, her love of old movies, and how she sang off-key in the car, he felt something shift inside him. This wasn't how he'd imagined the evening going, but sitting here with this brave little girl, Learning about her mother through the eyes of someone who loved her unconditionally, felt more real than any carefully curated dating profile ever could. 15 minutes passed in what felt like moments. Emma had moved on to showing Marcus the drawing in her backpack. It's a dragon princess, when the cafe door burst open. The woman who rushed in was flustered, with strands of dark hair falling from her ponytail and what looked like a grass stain on her jeans. Her eyes, the same warm brown as Emma's, were filled with panic until they landed on her daughter. Emma. She hurried over, immediately checking her daughter over with practiced motherly efficiency. "Baby, I'm so sorry. Are you okay?" "I'm fine, Mommy. I found Marcus, just like you said." Emma beamed with accomplishment. Sarah finally looked up at Marcus, and he saw the exhaustion, worry, and embarrassment all warring on her face. "I am so sorry. I know there's no excuse for. Is the woman okay?" Marcus interrupted gently. Sarah blinked, caught off guard. Yes. The paramedics just took her. She'd tripped on the sidewalk and hit her head pretty badly. I couldn't just walk past, and Emma was right there, and I thought sending her inside was better than keeping her out there seeing all that blood, but then I realized how crazy that was, sending my 5-year-old into a cafe to find a stranger, and… Sarah. Marcus's voice was calm, grounding. "It's okay." Emma was incredibly brave. "And you did exactly what you should have done. Anyone who would judge you for helping someone in need isn't someone worth impressing." Sarah's eyes welled with tears, from stress, relief, or gratitude, Marcus couldn't tell. Maybe all three. Most guys would have been gone by now. "I'm not most guys," Marcus said simply. He glanced at Emma, who was watching them both with interest. "Besides, I had good company." Sarah laughed, a watery sound, and brushed at her eyes. "This is officially the worst first impression in dating history." "Actually," Marcus said, pulling out the chair for her, "I think it might be the best. I got to see what matters most to you before we even said hello." "That's pretty rare." As Sarah sank into the chair, Emma squeezed between them, clearly pleased with how her mission had turned out. The waitress appeared, and Marcus ordered hot chocolate for Emma and a fresh coffee for Sarah, insisting that the evening was just beginning. They talked until the cafe staff started stacking chairs around them. Sarah shared stories from the Marcus told them about his work with youth mentorship programs, and Emma interjected with commentary that kept them all laughing. There was no pretense, no carefully constructed dating persona, just three people connecting over the honest, messy, beautiful reality of life. When they finally walked out into the cool Portland night, Emma held both their hands, swinging between them like a bridge. Marcus realized his sister had been right, Sarah was amazing. But it wasn't for any of the reasons he'd expected. It was because she'd raised a daughter brave enough to walk into a room of strangers to keep a promise. It was because when someone needed help, she didn't hesitate. It was because beneath the exhaustion and the chaos, there was a woman who understood that life's most important moments rarely arrive on schedule. "So," Sarah said as they reached her car, "would you possibly, maybe, consider trying this again? Under less dramatic circumstances." Marcus smiled, looking from Sarah to Emma, who was giving him an enthusiastic thumbs up. "Actually, I was thinking this set the bar pretty high. How are you going to top sending a dragon princess to deliver your apology?" Emma giggled, and Sarah's laugh was pure sunshine breaking through clouds. "I'll work on it," Sarah promised. As Marcus watched them drive away, Emma's hand waving frantically from the backseat window, he pulled out his phone to text his sister. But instead of the complaint he'd planned to send hours ago, he typed, "You were right. She's amazing. Thanks for not giving up on me." Sometimes the people we're meant to meet don't arrive in perfect conditions, wearing their best clothes with their best stories rehearsed. Sometimes they arrive late, covered in grass stains, carried by the courageous announcement of a 5-year-old girl with lopsided pigtails. And somehow, that makes them all the more worth waiting for.